I did, and they tell me that the victim in this case is just 22 years old. She was dropped off at a local hospital where she later died of a heroin overdose. Now we have surveillance video of the people who left her there, and police are asking for your help in trying to track them down. Watch this. Tuesday, 2:30 in the morning, this car drives up to Bethesda Memorial Hospital. The male passenger gets out, opens the back door, and the female driver walks over, and then both reach into the back seat and pull out an unconscious woman. We're not showing you that part because the story takes a tragic turn.
At this point, all we know is that she was dropped off at about 2:30 in the morning last Tuesday at Bethesda Hospital, and she did die at the hospital.
This camera captures the two carrying in the unconscious woman. Seconds later, at the bottom of the screen, you see a nurse wheeling the victim away on a gurney. The dark-haired man who brought her here standing in the background, giving no clues as to what was wrong. And while police now know, they want to know more.
They've ascertained that it was a heroin overdose, and detectives would like to speak with the people who dropped her off.
The female driver does come back out to the car and retrieve the overdose victim's purse. And here's a clue. As she turns, you can see what appears to be a name badge on her shirt. She also may be wearing medical scrubs. Police are hoping someone recognizes either of these two people who dropped off a 22-year-old dying woman and drove away.
No, it's not illegal at all, but this woman did die. It is a death investigation, and our detectives would like to talk to them to find out, the events leading up to her ending up at the hospital.
And the woman's purse did have her ID in it, and her family has been notified. But the question tonight is, where was she earlier that night? Could she have been saved? These are answers that her grieving family would like answered. If you know anything, please call the detectives here at the Boynton Beach Police Department. You can remain anonymous. So frustrated, he is now offering a reward. He says there are several clues beyond that surveillance video the police released that they are not following up on. And he says any parent whose child died in such circumstances would want to know who were those people who dropped her off. Why didn't they call 911? Could she have been saved? We are not revealing the father or the daughter's name at this time. Here's what he told me.
Two unidentified people dropped my daughter off at the Bethesda emergency room at 2:30 in the morning on March 28th. Up to this point, nobody has been able to identify who those two people were. And it's very important to me and my family that we find out what happened to our daughter.
That's the father of the 22-year-old woman dropped off to die of a heroin overdose at Bethesda ER last month. The two people who left her appear to be wearing medical scrubs. The woman apparently wearing a name badge, but that's all we know.
Well, I'm very frustrated because the Boynton police have done very little to find out who those people are.
The father was texting his daughter from New York the night she died. He says she had just checked into a Delray Beach rehab facility.
I sure would like to know who was driving that black Buick, and I sure would like to call that rehab facility and ask them if these two people in this video worked for you.
But the father says Boynton Beach police told him they haven't done that. And he says they also haven't tracked down the phone numbers he gave them of people she was texting that night.
Chances are that my daughter texted or called a drug dealer from her phone. Don't we want to find out who the people are who are killing our children by selling drugs?
In response, the Boynton Beach police chief has given us this statement. We cannot imagine the immense pain and loss a parent feels when they lose a child under any circumstance. With the current opioid epidemic, we have seen such events with increasing regularity. In some cases, we find parents transfer their anger to the authorities responsible for investigating their loved one's death. We understand this anger is misplaced, and despite any claims to the contrary, our personnel are committed to vigorously addressing the law enforcement aspects of this public health crisis. That father is offering a $5,000 reward for information identifying the two people who left his daughter at the emergency room. Police say dropping a person off at the hospital is not illegal, but they would like to know who those people are too. If you have any information and were interested in that reward, you can contact the police or you can contact us here at our WPBS Facebook page, and we will get in touch with that father. Live in the newsroom, I'm Terry Parker, WPBF 25 News.